Peace everyone, I think we're going. Sorry man, it's a bit of a mess, a bit out of motorbike. Just got stuff ready first. Anyway, peace everyone, let's get into this. So, we appear to have fallen into a trap. It's the only way that I can put it across to you. We've tied ourselves up in agreements that we didn't even know we agreed to. Our parents agreed to things unknowingly that put us in the position that we are now, where we're facing a debt that you don't owe, you're paying to somebody. And this debt's coming out whether you like it or not. You don't have a choice about it, because they take it out on all of us. And we live in a debt society that accumulates only debt. And the real wealth, the assets, homes, material things, are what the people behind all this, the bankers, the global elite. They're buying up property, buying up the earth. But the problem is, you can't buy something that doesn't belong to you. You can't own something that doesn't belong to you. When you leave this earth, you leave here with nothing. Nothing. What are you taking with you? So how can you possibly own something if when you die, everything that you've accumulated stays here? And then it's passed on to the next generation to carry on. The same perpetual cycle. And the people that have a monopoly now can use the excuse, well, my dad was bad, but I'm not, so I can keep the money. And that's the way it is. That's where we stand today. We stand in a position where we've given authority over ourselves to people in power unknowingly and unwittingly, and we've given them total control of our lives. And you have to take back that control, just with understanding. There is no fight, no violence involved in this. All it is about is a shift in your thinking, and understanding, and not standing under somebody's authority. These legal terms you have to be aware of. So when someone in authority says, do you understand? They don't mean, do you understand what they're saying? They mean, do you stand under my authority? Do you submit to my authority? To which you reply yes, unwittingly. Putting yourself in a position where you can be ruled and dominated. Because you can only be ruled and dominated if you allow it to happen. If you agree to it. And everybody en masse is agreeing to be enslaved right now with their actions. Stand up, sit down, stay in, don't go out, do this, do that. And the more that you listen to this voice that comes from out here, and ignore the voice that's in here, your life's going to break up. Your life's going to fall apart. And the only way you can hold your life together is if you're solely reliant. You rely solely on yourself at all times. You do not give your authority away to anybody whatsoever. You do not enter into agreements with anybody, unwittingly or otherwise. If your yeas be yeas and your nays be nays, and you don't speak and let this evil member in your mouth get yourself into all kinds of trouble, keep it shut and don't agree to things that you don't understand, because that's what we're doing. And saying I'll ignore it isn't good enough, because ignorance, it just passes the problem on to the next person. It's just as bad as, it's like the person who stood by on the other side of the road while someone's being attacked when you could help them, but you won't. The whole purpose of the human experience is to overcome adversity, to stand up for yourself, to stand up for each other. We're a family, all of us trace back to one ancestor, all of us. We are all related, and though they try and divide us and chop us up and divide and conquer, because that's all that they've got in their arsenal, is divide and conquer. We need to start listening to your heart. You need to start waking up and understanding that you've got dangers all around you, and you need to wake up to them to be able to function and to focus. And there's good in this world, and that's what you want to focus on, the good. Forget these idiots that think they can rule you because they've got karmic problems. If people really understood the consequences of their actions, they wouldn't need a police force. If you knew that whatever you did come back on you, you wouldn't do it. You would think twice about calling somebody a name. You would think twice about hitting people. You'd think twice about bullying people, hurting people. Messing about with other people is the worst thing that you can possibly do. Hurt yourself and beat yourself up as much as you want. But you start messing around with other people in this world, and you're in a world of trouble. A world of trouble. You're here to learn lessons, your lessons. It's all internal. You treat everybody who you come across as God himself, he or she. Treat them like God. Because trust me, if that's how you want to be treated, that's how you treat people. If you treat people horribly and wickedly, that's what's going to come back on you. And yeah, you might get away with it for as long as it's necessary. But trust me, you're racking it up. Because the universe that you live inside of takes a record of everything that you do. When you think you're alone, you're not alone. Look at the electromagnetic spectrum. Get it up on your screen. The electromagnetic spectrum. Now look at the visual light spectrum. This is what we can see. The electromagnetic spectrum is what's there. What we can visually see is 0.0035%. We see nothing of what's going on in this world. We are completely and utterly reliant on each other. Because only together do we have the full picture. People need to wake up the pineal gland, your third eye. It gives you triangulation. We live in a 3-dimensional reality, not a 2-dimensional. This is why you've got 3 eyes and not 2. But most people's pineal gland don't work at all, because the fluoride completely calcifies your pineal gland and stops it from operating and functioning properly. You become subservient and totally dependent. You need to open your pineal gland. First seek the kingdom of God within you. This is the message of the Bible. First seek the kingdom within. Meditate. Open your pineal gland. Stay present in the moment. Don't let your mind drift into the future or fall back into the past. It's okay reminiscing. It's another thing to be stuck in the past, beating yourself up over things that you can never change. You can't go back and change things. You have to let the past go. In the future, it's okay to have aspirations. It's okay, it's fine. It's okay to have dreams. But you live in the moment. The only thing that exists is here and now. That's it. And people are missing everything because they're in the past or in the future. They're not in the present. So they walk right past all the important stuff because they're too busy focusing on I was beat up as a child and I was abused and this happened and that happened. So be it. And when your mind starts beating you up with that stuff, tell it to stop. Focus your mind in meditation on getting control of your thoughts and reining them in. Because some people are dominated by the thoughts. After you've mended yourself and taken the splinter out of your eye, then you can see clearly to help other people then. There's too many people that just want to be a teacher for the status that it gives them. I want to be a teacher. I'm going to watch this person and that person on YouTube and I'm going to relay that information again and voila. Know them by their fruits. What I bring to the table is universal information, and it's stuff that's coming from me. It's not coming from anybody else. I'm not relaying information. All the information I'm getting, I've filtered. Now, people need to wake up and understand that there is a system that's highly organised around them, like a net. And to untangle yourself, you have to be on your peak. Because these people ain't playing. They're not playing. They want to rule you. They want you to do all the work and them to sit back and reap the benefits. Instead of you doing the work and you getting the benefits. It's about self-realisation. Understanding that yes, you're in a knot. You're in a problem. But you put yourself there by being ignorant. Yes, there's a system around you. And yes, it's okay to fall. But get back up and fight. Unify your mind. Forget this division. There is no division. Everybody's connected. If something happens to you, it happens to everybody. Understand that fundamentally. So if I hit somebody, I'm hitting everybody. Everybody feels that. Everybody gets a bit of that. So when you're walking around going, why is everyone angry at me? The world's angry at you. Because you're being judged. The world judges you. You're living inside it. It doesn't miss anything. There's trees out there that breathe out what you breathe in. So half of you is outside. Understand that you're dependent on this world. And that in order to survive in it, you need to respect it. You need to respect the laws of nature. You need to respect other people's boundary. And focus internally on yourself. And fixing yourself fixes everything. Trust me. If you focus on yourself, don't beat yourself up for things that happened in the past. You can't change it. Yes, things are painful. I was abused myself. In Kerr. I grew up in Kerr. I had an horrible experience. But I don't beat myself up about it, because if I do, they've won. They've won. Don't walk around with my head down. Walk around with my chin in the air, proud. And I'm not talking about pride. I'm talking about being self-righteous. Understanding fundamentally that if you fix yourself, then everything outside falls into place. Everything that you're chasing out there is in here. I'll leave it there for today, people. I hope that these messages are getting through. I know that I'm going to be restricted and my message is going to be hard to get through, but the right people will get my message, and that's all that matters. So